folks. I'm Dave Recker, the Mule Enthusiast, and I'm here with Stacy Smith, the impetus behind MidWest Mules Festival here in Tuscumbia, Missouri. And these gals, her and some
Melody Canote and Mary Bell.
And yeah, they got this thing started 5 years ago, right?
This will be its fourth year, but we hatched it almost 6 years ago.
Yeah.
We were planning for about a year and a half before we did the first one.
Wow. Tell us all about it.
Well, it started out, I'd moved up here from down south and trail riding and didn't really know anybody, and I met Melody Canote, a friend of mine, and she rides a mule.
Yeah.
And so we would have trail rides, and only horses would show up, and she says, let's get some mules, let's get some more mules. I said, well, why don't we have a mule ride? And she said, well, okay. She agreed to it, but she said yes, and I don't think she really thought it through. And so while she was busy working, I was planning. I called her on the phone and I said, it's all set. She said, what? I said, it's all set. So we had our first one in 2018.
Yeah. And
the main idea around it was that we wanted to have a trail ride, and that it was all about the mule and the people who love the mules, and so it's kind of grown and morphed and changed from there. But the basic of it is this is a trail ride. It's family oriented.
Yes.
And then we have mule games, and the mule games started because of Melody Canote. She rides Ruby. And so anything that we thought Ruby, or anything that Ruby didn't take a fancy to that day, we thought, well, that's what we're going to put in the Ruby games. And so that's kind of how it started out. And over the years, we've, vendors have come along. They're all mule specific.
Yeah.
The vendors that are here, we don't have horsey things.
Yeah.
Not that we mind horses. But, typically when you go somewhere and you look through stuff, it's all horse stuff, and you got to dig to find something mule.
Yeah.
So when you come here, everything you pick up is about a mule.
There you go.
So the vendors have come along, and like I said, this is the fourth year. The first year it was small. The second year it grew about what we expected. Then last year we had the whole COVID thing.
The virus.
Even though we had that and we thought it threw a wrench in it, it still got bigger than the second year, and then this year it's completely sold out. We don't know where we're going to put anybody. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's sold out. There's no room for anyone.
We've got
all the
primitive
stalls and they have primitive. But anyway, I'm just shocked at the number of people that have been coming, faithful mule people.
That is one thing I'll say. The people that are. We have people that return every year that have been to the very first one, and they're here for the fourth one. They come every year, and it's kind of like a Vidal Sassoon commercial. They tell their friends, and then they tell somebody else.
Yeah,
we've got new people coming in, and
these mule people, they're
it's like a family.
It's like a family. Very well put.
So
the mule world's growing, though.
It is growing rapidly.
Rapidly, and people are just
a lot of younger people are getting into
finding out about how great a mule is. And I get people calling me all the time. What do you have for sale?
Yeah, and I think that we're starting to get seeing more young people get into it.
Yeah.
I think for a while there wasn't a whole lot of them involved, and then now you're seeing more and more.
More people.
We have one that comes back here every year,
Yeah.
Olivia Roberts. She comes every year. She's a young gal.
Yeah.
And,
and then there's a couple right across from me here that I think they're from Iowa. He's a police officer.
Matt and Ash Wampler.
Yeah, Wampler. And they never owned a horse. They just wanted to start riding, so they went and bought mules.
They've been here with us every year.
They jumped right in.
Yep.
But great people.
Very nice.
Anyway, but one thing about mules, I mean, you can have a parade, and there'll be 24 horses coming down the parade, and they could be one mule, and people will run to the mule. And people are fascinated with mules. And fascinated with how do you get a mule, and what's the difference. So it's always fun to talk about mules, but they're an attraction, that's for sure.
They are. They certainly are. I know when I bring Woodrow around, everybody.
Yeah.
And he's, he's not but 33 inches tall, but it's that one ear that gets him. I have a wonder mule, you know. Remember little Woodrow?
Yeah. Another thing about your MuleFest that's been great is you have good, like you have Deborah Racketer here doing a clinic on saddling.
She's doing a clinic about, so you want to be a saddle fitter.
Yeah.
And talking about the importance of, getting good fit and stuff like that. We have people that have came back every year. In fact, you and Deborah both, the very first 2 years that we were getting going, both of you were here and did clinics and helped us through that, and it's grown enough now that we have interest from the outside people saying, hey, can I come to that? And we do appreciate you guys for that. And she's come back again. She's been here every year too.
Yeah.
And we had kind of talked about it last year, and I said, okay, well, we've got new things coming in, and I always offer to you guys, hey, I want to do a clinic. And this year, Crestridge Saddlery is actually one of the sponsors for MidWest MuleFest. This is the first year we've opened it up to a sponsorship program where people can hang their banners in the arena and such. And so Deborah said, yeah, let's do Crestridge Saddlery. And I said, okay.
Yeah.
So I said, do you want to do a clinic so that you have it, And she said, yeah, let's do a clinic. So she's back again this year. People really enjoy that. They can come in, even if they don't have a problem, she'll look over it, for them. And
she will. She's very generous with her time and knowledge.
Yes.
And as far as I'm concerned, she's the best at fitting a saddle. And I tell the story of a guy paid, I think, $5,500 for a custom-made saddle. He bought out of Montana or Wyoming, somewhere up there, and when he got his saddle shipped to him, it didn't fit his mule. And whereas with Deborah, I mean, if it doesn't fit, she's going to make it fit. MuleFest is becoming one of the big events here in the Midwest for mule people.
It is. We didn't know that was going to happen either. It just kind of, and when it did, it just,
Really, I mean, for the short time you've been doing it, I mean, everybody knows about it. Not from east to the west coast, And I've been inviting people to come and get involved in it. But anyway, it's like you say, it's good trail riding, good fellowship, good clinics, a lot of fun with the games. And that. I'm not into that, but
I tell you, they go out, so they do other rides also, but they have main rides that are planned, so they go out as a big group. Sometimes they may be out long enough, they take a lunch with them and whatnot, but I think they enjoy that, having that where they get together, they're riding together. Of course, we take tons of pictures always, but it's really neat when you go somewhere and you see a mixture of horses and mules, you hear the occasional mule. But when you come to MidWest MuleFest and you wake up in the morning, all you hear is mules. So it's a different atmosphere.
Right,
and
absolutely.
It's really neat to wake up in the morning and all you hear is just mules calling out, to each other across the camp. It's a neat atmosphere. It's different.
Well, I'm sure I'm one of the ones I really appreciate all the effort that you and Melody and the other lady put into this, Mary, to get this going. Like you say, it was, what, a year and a half in the planning before you even had your first one?
We had to find a place to put it, and one that would be flexible enough that we could do what we needed to do to grow. Panther Creek was a really good fit. Melinda Burgoon came along. There was a few moments of doubt there in the beginning because this place sold like right before we were supposed to have the very first MuleFest in 2018, and Melinda Burgoon was the new owner. Met with her and she said, "What do you need me to do?" And I thought,
isn't she great? She's a great host.
She's amazing. Anything that we've needed, she's helped us to get. That arena out there, when we had the first one, the big thing everybody said is, can we have mule games? And so I sat down with Melinda after the first one. I said, we need an arena. And there it is. And so, like I said, this is the 4th year, but this is the 3rd year of the Ruby Games. So she put that arena out there, and
That's great.
It's just
Yeah.
keeps on growing from
I
there.
see the new stand for the announcers and everything. They
Mr. David
just put
Robbins
up.
did that.
Yeah,
He said, I think he got tired of watching us try to
Yeah.
perch on the top fence rail, but it's really nice. We've got a really good view of the arena as well as the round pens where some of the clinics are held. And then also this year, last year we had a halter class, but this year we've added a gated class.
Yeah.
So we have both going on, and you can see all three from up there. So we're going to have
yeah.
really good pictures. We've got a sound system out there for
When's
it
the
now.
gated classes?
Friday morning.
Friday morning?
Friday morning.
I might enter that.
Well,
I'll
we
do
hope you do.
that. Okay, I'll do that. Anyway, but
Halter class too.
well, you know, I appreciate, and I know so many others really appreciate your efforts. This is no small task putting this on, and I
It
mean,
takes some planning.
planning and work, hard
is.
work, and people appreciate it and what you've done to establish this, and just
Well, we do it because it's fun.
yeah.
And it is a lot of work, but we have a lot of good people here that help volunteer. We couldn't do it without the people that jump in and help us.
Yeah.
And a lot of those are the people that came here first, like Jackie Lieback, the Wamplers,
Yeah.
Angela Plish, Sandy Warchaw, Scott Handy,
Yeah.
of course David, Melody.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got people that come in early and help us work.
Yeah.
And just putting that arena together for the games,
Yeah.
just the sheer amount of getting that much stuff here
Yeah.
is a task in itself, and then putting it together. So without those volunteers,
Yeah.
we'd have to be here 2 weeks in advance instead of a week.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. No, and right here in the beautiful Ozarks of Missouri.
Absolutely.
And beautiful.
where else would you have a Mule Festival other than Missouri?
That's right.
MidWest MuleFest.
Yeah, sounds good. Anyway, thanks for your
Thank you,
time, and God bless you guys. I hope it just continues to grow, and well, at least to a point you can manage it, huh?
Maybe next year we'll have that field full.